Thunder crashes from the sky. A giant undead monster shows up with an army of skeletons. Everyone standing there wonders what the hell is happening. What kind of awakening causes this much chaos? Then he gets handed a shovel. A shovel. Our guy Wei Xiao has been grinding for this moment ever since transmigrating to this game-like world. Every single day he studies, tops every theory exam, and waits for his awakening ceremony. Before him, the previous top student Xiao Qing awakens an epic class profession. Finally getting a chance to settle an old grudge, she walks past Wei Xiao thinking that he has suppressed her for years, but this time she is going to show him who the real genius is. Then Wei Xiao steps forward. The moment his awakening begins, everything changes. A terrifying aura erupts outward. Thunder crashes across the sky. Everyone looks up in confusion as the bright atmosphere from Xiao Qing's awakening suddenly disappears. Then they see it. A monstrous figure appears alongside a massive army of skeletons. Nobody even knows what these creatures are supposed to be. Xiao Qing is stunned too, saying that even though she knows they're only phantoms, the cold feels way too real. Wei Xiao, on the other hand, looks absolutely delighted. He says this is the feeling he was looking for and tells the game to give him a gold pull. Then a tornado forms. Everything swirls together, and out of all that chaos, a shovel drops straight into his hand. A shovel. Bro, what? Even Wei Xiao just stares at it. The staff member checks the results and announces that Wei Xiao has awakened the hidden class Undead Summoner. His innate equipment is a shovel. The entire crowd goes silent for about 2 seconds. Then everyone completely loses it. People start laughing non-stop. One guy points out that after all that dramatic buildup, his innate equipment turned out to be a gold miner's shovel. Even Xiao Qing relaxes. Seeing the reactions around her, she feels like she has won after all. Meanwhile, Wei Xiao is staring at the shovel in his hand, wondering if something went wrong. After causing a commotion big enough to darken the sky, this is the result? So he opens his personal information panel, and that's when everything changes. His talent is revealed. SSS-Rank. Eternal Immortality. The description states that summoning effects can stack infinitely, increasing the number of summons by repeatedly learning the same skill. Wei Xiao instantly understands what this means. Normal summoners can only maintain one summoned creature at a time. He can't. As a hidden class, he has no such restriction. 1 summon, 10 summons, 100 summons, an entire undead army. And just like that, Wei Xiao realizes he has found his cheat. Now that he understands what his talent actually does, Wei Xiao looks at the shovel again with a completely different expression. An SSS rank talent is already insane, so there is no way an SSS rank innate item is something ordinary. Then a notification pops up. Little iron shovel. Its effect is simple. Bury enemies to obtain extra rewards. Wei Xiao immediately gets it. Killing monsters gives experience, and burying their corpses gives bonus rewards. That's basically double dipping. Not bad at all. The staff member tells him to stop standing around and show everyone his skill. After the massive anomaly during his awakening, it should be something impressive. So Wei Xiao raises his hand and uses Undead Summon. A skeleton appears. The staff member takes one look and freezes. A skeleton mage? Out of all undead creatures, that's one of the lowest tiers. He can't understand it. This is supposed to be a hidden class, so why does it look so weak? Unless the skeleton is somehow different, he moves closer to inspect it. Then, with the slightest touch, crack, the skeleton falls apart on the spot. Everyone bursts into laughter. Couldn't even survive a single touch. The thing shattered so fast it looked like it was made of cheap props. The crowd is having the time of their lives. Wei Xiao isn't. He calmly points out that a single low-level skeleton mage is indeed weak, but he snaps his fingers. One skeleton appears, then another, and another, then more. The number keeps rising. The laughter slowly dies. The staff member's expression starts changing. A little surprise, then concern, then genuine fear. Wei Xiao casually asks how anyone plans to deal with them if he can summon this many at the same time. Behind him, an enormous army of skeletons stands in formation, row after row, waiting for his command. As everyone stares at the massive undead army behind Wei Xiao, the entire crowd is left stunned. People start asking how there can be so many skeletons and whether Wei Xiao really summoned all of them himself. Even Xiao Qing is struggling to process what she is seeing. She finally realizes what's going on. Individually, the skeletons are weak, but once their numbers reach a certain point, dealing with them becomes a completely different story. Undead Summoner is exactly the kind of class where quantity eventually turns into quality. The staff member nods and says this is most likely the special talent effect of Wei Xiao's hidden class. class. Although there was a small issue with his innate equipment, his future still looks extremely promising. He then tells Wei Xiao to recall his summons, so the awakening ceremony can continue. Wei Xiao agrees and dismisses the entire army. At the same time, he remembers something he saw during the awakening anomaly. Everyone thinks he can only summon ordinary skeletons, but that's not what he saw. Back then, among that terrifying undead army, there was also a skeletal dragon, a legendary skeletal dragon, and sooner or later, that creature will become one of his summons too. 1 hour later, the awakening ceremony finally comes to an end. The staff member congratulates everyone who successfully awakened and announces that tomorrow at 9 a.m. all students will enter the novice dungeon to begin leveling up. Those who perform well will receive generous scholarships and bonus points in the upcoming unified examinations. He also reminds everyone not to be late. Wei Xiao immediately likes the sound of that. Leveling up, scholarships, bonus points, not bad. As the students begin discussing tomorrow's trial, one guy approaches Xiao Qing and proudly mentions that he awakened the advanced class Gale Swordsman. He invites her to team up with him in the dungeon. Xiao Qing isn't interested at all. She simply tells him to move aside. Then she walks straight toward Wei Xiao. She stops him and asks him to wait. Wei Xiao asks what she wants. Xiao Qing tells him that today's competition isn't settled yet. She wants another match tomorrow inside the dungeon. Wei Xiao casually slings his shovel onto his back and agrees. Then he adds that she probably still won't be able to beat him. That answer instantly irritates Xiao Qing. Before she can say anything else, the Gale Swordsman who was rejected earlier suddenly steps forward. This guy is still here. Furious, he demands to know how Wei Xiao dares speak to Xiao Qing like that. He pulls out his sword and points it directly at Wei Xiao. Then he threatens to break Wei Xiao's legs right now so he won't even be able to enter the dungeon tomorrow. Xiao Qing immediately stops Qian Jiao, telling him she doesn't need anyone standing up for her. If she wants to beat Wei Xiao, she will do it herself in tomorrow's dungeon trial. Qian Jiao clearly doesn't like hearing that. Still, for Xiao Qing's sake, he backs off. Before leaving, he warns Wei Xiao that he is getting lucky today. He tells him to pray they don't meet in the dungeon tomorrow, otherwise he should prepare to spend the next month lying in bed. Wei Xiao just smiles. Then he tells him he'll be waiting. The next day, everyone gathers at the trial grounds. The atmosphere is completely different from yesterday. People are excited. Some students talk about how this is their first trial and admit they're looking forward to it. Others discuss the 3 secret realms in the area. Unfortunately, beginners only have access to the lowest level one, the barren grassland. A few students wonder when they'll be strong enough to enter the other 2 higher level realms. Xiao Qing walks over and asks Wei Xiao whether he's going solo or forming a team. Wei Xiao immediately says he's going alone. Hearing that, Xiao Qing smiles and says she'll do the same. That way, he won't be able to claim she needed teammates to beat him. Soon, the announcer begins explaining the rules. The dungeon trial will last 8 hours. Reaching level 3 is considered a pass and awards 5 extra points in the unified examination. The moment everyone hears about bonus points, the crowd gets even more excited. Then the announcer reveals the additional rewards. Elite monsters are worth 5 extra points. Leader monsters are worth 10. Boss monsters are worth 20. And those rewards apply regardless of level. As soon as the trial officially begins, the students explode into action. Everyone rushes toward the portal, shouting about grabbing the first wave of monsters before anyone else can. People are practically sprinting through the entrance. Wei Xiao, meanwhile, just walks over at his own pace. Looking at the crowd, he comments that everyone is surprisingly passionate. Then he decides he should probably show at least a little enthusiasm too. After entering the portal, he finds himself alone. Looking around, he realizes all participants were teleported to different locations. Then he suddenly hears a noise nearby. Turning toward it, he spots a prairie marmot, the lowest level monster in the dungeon. Honestly, it looks kind of cute. That's exactly what Wei Xiao thinks as he looks at it. Then the tiny monster suddenly lets out an unbelievably loud roar. Wei Xiao immediately covers his ears and asks what its problem is, and why it's suddenly going crazy. That cute little marmot? Yeah, it turns out it is not cute at all. The moment Wei Xiao lowers his guard, the tiny monster launches itself straight at him. It moves so fast he barely has time to react before the thing is plastered all over his face. Bro really got ambushed by a marmot. As the creature gets way too close for comfort, Wei Xiao immediately tells it to get off him and throws it away. Then he points at it and demands to know how it dared to sneak attack him. The marmot squeaks and crashes onto the ground. Wei Xiao tells it that if his reactions had been any slower, he probably would have gotten bitten. Since it chose violence first, it should be ready for the consequences. Then he summons his undead army. The little marmot suddenly finds itself surrounded from every direction. Not looking so brave now, a skeleton mage steps forward and begins preparing a fireball. At the same time, Wei Xiao points directly at the marmot and announces that he is about to clean it up. The next second, countless fireballs rain down. The poor marmot disappears under a storm of flames. A notification immediately appears. Congratulations. Tier 0, Level 1 Prairie Marmot defeated. Experience gained 10. Wei Xiao looks at the reward and quickly realizes something. 10 experience points. That's it? At this rate, reaching level 3 is going to take forever. Then he remembers something important. He has an undead army. A very large undead army. So instead of hunting monsters himself, he calls all of his skeletons over and tells the boys it's time to get to work. The skeletons gather around him. Then he starts assigning orders. Some go left, some go right, others head deeper into the grasslands. Wei Xiao activates free attack mode and orders them to clear every monster they can find in the area. The skeletons immediately scatter in every direction to carry out the command. At the same time, a group of Academy staff members are discussing the upcoming Stygian trial. One old man asks Old Wong if he seriously believes his academy can defeat the second academy this year. Old Wong confidently says yes. The other man reminds him that their school produced an epic class awakener. Before Old Wong can respond, someone else points out that his academy also has an epic class student. And on top of that, a hidden class. Old Meng nearly spits out his drink after hearing that. A hidden class? Really? Old Wong confirms it without hesitation and says he's looking forward to seeing those students kill a few more elite monsters. Back inside the dungeon, Wei Xiao's skeleton army is already hard at work. Groups of marmots are getting wiped out left and right. Wei Xiao keeps directing the attack, ordering the skeletons not to miss any targets and to blow up everything they find. At this point, he has developed a personal grudge against these little squeakers. One of them jumped on his face. Now the entire species is paying the price. As explosions continue across the grasslands, Wei Xiao simply lies back and enjoys the show. According to him, watching other people do the fighting is pretty awesome. With his skeleton army running around clearing monsters everywhere, Wei Xiao's experience keeps climbing non-stop. Our guy is literally gaining levels while doing absolutely nothing. He happily watches the experience roll in and starts talking about how nice it is to gain experience without lifting a finger. According to him, this must be one of the perks of having a hidden class. Then he starts asking for even more experience, and somehow ends up singing while doing it. Honestly, nobody should have this much fun farming low-level monsters. After a while, Wei Xiao remembers the little iron shovel. He has been so busy enjoying free experience that he hasn't even tested its effect yet. So he grabs the shovel and decides to give it a try. Walking over to a defeated marmot, he starts digging a hole while continuing his completely questionable singing performance. Dig a hole, throw in some dirt, count a few numbers, keep singing. The whole process looks way too practiced. Once the marmot is buried, Wei Xiao waits to see what kind of reward he gets. A notification immediately appears. Congratulations. Coarse bracelet obtained. Inferior grave incense obtained. Canned corpse oil obtained. The bracelet provides an ability boost. The grave incense continuously grants a small amount of experience after being lit. The corpse oil can be applied to a body to slightly increase attribute values. Wei Xiao stares at the rewards. Then he points out that every single one of these items sounds like something straight out of the underworld. Not exactly normal equipment. Still, rewards are rewards, so he decides to test them. First, he lights the grave incense. The effect kicks in immediately. Experience starts pouring in again. More and more and more. Before Before long, a notification appears. Congratulations, level 2 reached. Wei Xiao is stunned by how easy this is. Leveling feels almost effortless. Next, he tests the corpse oil. After applying it, he receives boosts to strength, agility, constitution, and spirit. The increase isn't huge at first, but as he continues using it, his stats keep rising. Then another notification appears. Wei Xiao takes one look and is genuinely surprised. The boost is much stronger than he expected. Even though the effect only lasts 10 minutes, the attribute increase is actually pretty impressive. Seeing the results, he immediately decides to continue digging holes and burying monsters. Why stop now? Then a warning suddenly appears. One of his undead mages has been defeated. A moment later, another notification arrives. Then another, and another. His skeletons are being wiped out. Wei Xiao finally looks up and turns toward the source of the disturbance. Something massive is charging through the grasslands. A horned wild boar. Elite monster. Level 3. Skill: Savage Charge. Its enormous body crashes forward while roaring loudly. Wei Xiao instantly understands why the skeleton mages couldn't handle it. This thing is an elite monster, and it's level 3. The boar lowers its head. Then it locks onto him. Oh, the next second, it charges straight toward Wei Xiao. What now? Wei Xiao immediately turns around and starts running. Fast, very fast. He shouts that he has been spotted and tells the boar not to come over here. The boar completely ignores him. In fact, it seems even more determined to run directly at him. The horned wild boar keeps charging straight at Wei Xiao. Seeing that giant monster getting closer and closer, our guy immediately turns around and orders his skeletons to block it. A wave of skeleton mages rushes forward. The boar crashes right through them. One charge, and the skeletons are gone, completely decimated. Wei Xiao watches the attack and realizes just how dangerous that was. If the boar had hit him directly instead of the skeletons, he would have been seriously injured, or worse. Luckily for him, skeletons are the one thing he has plenty of, so he immediately starts another round of summoning. At the same time, he analyzes the boar's weakness. His attack power is high, his charge is powerful, but it can't attack in every direction at once. As long as he surrounds it, he'll have an opening. So more skeleton mages appear, then more and more. Soon the boar finds itself surrounded from all sides. The moment it charges toward one group, every other skeleton mage starts launching fireballs at it. Boom, boom, boom. A series of explosions engulfs the elite monster. The horned wild boar tries to push forward, but eventually its massive body collapses. Down. Just like that, the elite monster is defeated. A notification immediately appears. Congratulations on successfully hunting a one-horned wild boar. Experience, attribute, rewards, items. The drops start flooding in. Wei Xiao checks the rewards and is immediately pleased. Then he notices something even better. Equipment. The boar actually dropped equipment. He quickly equips a leather armor that increases his strength and constitution. Not bad at all. Then he suddenly remembers something important. The corpse. There is no way he is wasting a perfectly good corpse. Out comes the little iron shovel. Wei Xiao immediately starts digging. At this point, the shovel is basically his second profession. Once the boar is buried, the rewards appear, and Wei Xiao freezes. 2 light spears. That's it. He immediately complains that even an ordinary marmot gives 3. Somehow this elite monster gave less than a random rodent. Pretty stingy. Then he notices something else. Wait, could it be? A new notification appears. Ghost fire spell. Consumes spirit to summon ghost fire that continuously burns the target. The more spirit consumed, the greater the damage. Then another reward appears. Summon skeletal boar. Summons a tier 0 skeletal boar whose level increases along with the summoner's level. Each summon requires 2 points of spirit. A final notification follows. Congratulations on obtaining the G-Rank skill book's ghost fire spell and summon skeletal boar. Wei Xiao's attitude changes instantly. Immediately. Just seconds ago he was calling the boar stingy. Now he's taking it all back. He admits he spoke too loudly earlier and starts praising the boar instead. After all, summoning a skeletal boar only costs 2 spirit points. With his current spirit stat, he can summon more than a dozen of them. The moment the skill book is used, Wei Xiao learns it instantly. Naturally, he can't resist testing it right away, so he summons a skeletal boar. The creature appears and lets out a powerful roar. Wei Xiao looks it over and immediately likes what he sees. Not bad. With this, his leveling speed is about to increase by another huge margin. Then suddenly, a powerful burst of sword chi erupts somewhere nearby. Wei Xiao pauses. That attack is strong. Who is over there? Following the disturbance, he discovers a group of people confronting each other. One side is warning the others to leave if they know what's good for them. The opposing group refuses, arguing that they found the elite monster first. They can't understand why someone thinks they have the right to steal it. That someone is Chen Jiao. And according to him, the answer is simple. He's stronger. That's all the reason he needs. Watching from a hidden spot, Wei Xiao immediately recognizes what's happening. Chen Jiao has always relied on his family's wealth. Looking at the equipment covering his body, it's obvious he spent a fortune gearing himself up. No wonder he can unleash attacks of that level. The argument doesn't last long. Chen Jiao tells everyone to get out of his way. Then he attacks. The other students are forced back immediately. At the same time, the elite monster they were fighting, a stone turtle, realizes things are getting dangerous and starts fleeing as fast as it can. Seeing its target escaping, Chen Jiao immediately unleashes another attack. A green snake sword chi tears through the air toward the turtle. But before the attack can finish the job, something else arrives first. A horde of skeletons. What now? Fireballs suddenly begin raining down on the stone turtle from every direction. Boom, boom, boom. The turtle is instantly swallowed by explosions. Chen Jiao freezes. Then his face turns dark, because he has absolutely no idea where those skeletons came from. As Wei Xiao's stats continue rising, another notification suddenly appears. Congratulations on successfully killing the elite monster stone turtle. Level increased to 6. All attributes increased by 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. Unfortunately, someone else isn't nearly as happy. Chen Jiao is furious. He storms over and demands to know how Wei Xiao dared steal his elite monster. Wei Xiao, who is feeling pretty satisfied with his progress, calmly explains that it was just an accident. According to him, his summoned beasts acted on their own. Chen Jiao is not buying that for even a second. He immediately calls it nonsense and accuses Wei Xiao of doing it on purpose. Since old grudges and new grudges are piling up together, he decides now is the perfect time to settle everything. Then he attacks. A sword slash tears forward, sending a shockwave directly at Wei Xiao. What now? Wei Xiao reacts instantly. He summons a wall of skeletons in front of himself. The skeletons take the hit head-on. One after another, they shatter. The shockwave loses most of its power, but not all of it. A small portion still pushes through and heads straight toward Wei Xiao. That was close. Wei Xiao realizes that without using his summons to slow the attack down, he probably would have taken the hit himself. The students watching nearby are equally shocked. The skeleton mages are way too fragile. Another student points out that Wei Xiao has completely offended Chen Jiao and is probably in serious trouble now. Wei Xiao doesn't seem concerned. Instead, he reminds Chen Jiao that he was the one who attacked first. Then he raises a hand and gives an order. An army of skeletal boars appears. Lots of them. Wei Xiao immediately tells them to use Savage Charge. The boars lower their heads and rush forward. Chen Jiao doesn't back down. In fact, he charges straight at them. He insists that no matter how many bones Wei Xiao summons, trash is still trash. Then he swings his sword again. Except this time, something feels wrong. The attack doesn't have the same effect as before. Chen Jiao is visibly confused. How is this possible? Before he can figure it out, a skeletal boar crashes directly into him. The impact sends him flying. Then another boar charges. And another. Every time he lands, another attack is already waiting for him. At that point, the fight is basically over. Wei Xiao looks at the surrounding students and asks if they can help carry Chen Jiao out of the dungeon. If he dies in there, everyone is going to have a huge problem. The others quickly agree. Honestly, nobody looks interested in arguing with the guy controlling an undead army. Wei Xiao thanks them, and they drag Chen Jiao away. Soon, the area becomes quiet. Wei Xiao looks around. It's finally time to bury the corpse. With a body that big, the rewards should be pretty good. So he takes out the little iron shovel and prepares to get to work. Then something wet suddenly drops from above. Wei Xiao pauses. What is that? Looking up, he finally sees it. A level 5 dividing slime. A tier D boss. Yeah, Wei Xiao definitely wasn't expecting to run into one of those. The dividing slime doesn't give him much time to think about it. The boss immediately launches its skill. Corrosive bubble. The moment Wei Xiao sees it, he realizes exactly what he's dealing with. Corrosion spell. Not good. He quickly uses ghost fire to intercept the incoming attack. The acidic bubbles splash across the ground, and the result is nasty. After seeing what happened to the terrain, Wei Xiao points out that if that stuff landed on him directly, he'd probably end up looking like one of his own skeletons. The slime doesn't stop. More corrosive bubbles come flying over, one after another, so Wei Xiao immediately orders his minions to attack. An army of skeleton mages appears. The sky fills with fireballs. The skeleton mages bombard the boss from every direction. But something is wrong. The fireballs don't do much against the incoming acid bubbles. Instead, the skeleton mages start taking heavy damage. A lot of damage. Wei Xiao quickly realizes the problem. The skeleton mages' defense is simply too low. They can't withstand attacks like this, so he changes tactics. Out come the skeletal boars. According to Wei Xiao, this fight is going to depend on them now. The slime lets out another strange squelching sound and leaps directly toward the boar army. But this time the boars are ready. The moment the boss lands, the skeletal boars slam into it and send the giant slime flying. Success. At least for a moment. The slime lands and starts squelching again. Then it uses a new skill, divide. His body splits apart once, then again, and again. Suddenly, the single giant boss becomes a swarm of smaller slimes. What now? The smaller slimes immediately begin launching their own corrosive bubbles. Then they all rush toward Wei Xiao at the same time. Seeing this, Wei Xiao remembers exactly what the textbook said. Slimes divide after taking a powerful attack. Against most people, that ability is a nightmare. But Wei Xiao isn't most people. He points out that this trick might work on others, but unfortunately the slime picked the wrong opponent. Then he raises his hand. More skeleton mages begin appearing, row after row, wave after wave, and Wei Xiao calmly reminds the boss of one very important fact. When it comes to numbers, this is his domain. The smaller slimes immediately start firing corrosive bubbles at Wei Xiao, but this time he is ready. The skeletal boars move to the front line and take the attacks head-on, acting as a shield for the rest of the army. Behind them, the skeleton mages line up. Wei Xiao orders them to stay in the back row and bombard the slimes with everything they've got. Fireballs start flying, one after another. The battlefield lights up. The fireballs keep coming. Boom, boom, boom. The smaller slimes are sent flying as the attacks rain down on them non-stop. Before long, the fight is over. A notification appears. Congratulations on defeating the level 5 boss, dividing slime. Level increased to 7. All attributes increased by 5. Not bad. Looking at the pile of loot left behind, Wei Xiao is pretty satisfied. The boss dropped a lot of equipment. Most of it is low-level gear, but there is so much of it that he figures he can sell everything later for a decent amount of money. Naturally, he isn't about to leave any of it behind, so he takes out a storage bag and starts stuffing everything inside. At this point, our guy is collecting loot faster than he's fighting monsters. Then another notification suddenly appears. Trial time ended. Return teleportation commencing. Wei Xiao is caught completely off guard. According to him, it ended way too soon. He was still having fun. The next moment, the teleportation activates and everyone is sent back outside. Students begin appearing all around the trial grounds. Some comment on how fast the 8 hours passed. Wei Xiao disagrees. He wanted more. After returning, he complains that he hasn't played enough yet. Nearby, a group of students starts discussing their experience in the dungeon. One of them says their party encountered a pack of grassland wolves and barely escaped before the trial ended. Otherwise, they would have been finished. A girl immediately calls them noobs. She points out that Xiao Qing took on an entire pack of level 5 wolves by herself and says the scene was incredibly impressive. Hearing that, Wei Xiao has to admit that the six-winged angel class is genuinely powerful if it can handle an entire wolf pack alone. Just then, someone comes running toward him. The guy says he has been looking everywhere for him. Wei Xiao recognizes him immediately. Zhang Dahai, his good friend. Dahai excitedly asks Wei Xiao to guess what level he reached. Wei Xiao throws out level 5. Dahai immediately says he's giving him way too much credit. According to him, if he actually reached level 5, the principal would probably build a monument in his honor. He's only level 4. Still, he's extremely proud of it. Wei Xiao gives him a thumbs up and points out that his bonus points for the unified exam are basically secured now. Dahai tells him not to be jealous because from now on, Lord Fatty will be covering for him. Then another voice calls out, Xiaoqing has arrived. She tells Wei Xiao to wait. Dahai immediately notices Xiaoqing walking over and tells Wei Xiao that the campus belle is probably looking for trouble again. Then he confidently declares that Lord Fatty will handle her. That confidence lasts about 2 seconds. Xiaoqing walks over and tells him to get lost. Then she casually pushes him aside. Dahai goes down so fast it's honestly impressive. Seeing his friend get tossed away, Wei Xiao immediately pulls out his shovel and points out that she just laid hands on his brother. He warns her not to think he'll go easy on her just because she's a woman. Xiaoqing isn't backing down either. She draws her sword and reminds him that she came to compete, not argue. Then she tells him to make his move. So Wei Xiao does exactly that. Shovel in hand, he swings straight at her. Xiaoqing instantly points out that he's too slow. A sword slash shoots toward him. Wei Xiao raises his shovel and blocks it head-on. Then he comments that the attack feels a little weak. That catches Xiaoqing off guard. She immediately uses an insight skill to check his information. Wei Xiao, Undead Summoner, level 7. She freezes. Level 7? What now? She can hardly believe it. She fought monsters non-stop throughout the entire trial and only barely reached level 6. So how is Wei Xiao already level 7? While she's still processing that information, Wei Xiao's shovel suddenly swings toward her shoulder. He asks why she didn't dodge. Xiaoqing calmly replies that there was nothing to dodge. As far as she's concerned, she already lost. Again. Still, she warns him not to get too full of himself just because he reached level 7. According to her, they'll settle everything properly during the unified exam. After saying that, she turns around and leaves. Watching her go, Wei Xiao lets out a sigh and wonders why such a pretty girl has to be so competitive all the time. Nearby, a group of people has been watching the entire exchange. Some of them are shocked that Wei Xiao managed to reach level 7 in a beginner dungeon after only 1 day. Others admit that the kid clearly has some real skill. One person even comments that young Master Chen picked a very interesting target. At that moment, Dahai finally gets back up. Covered in dust, he complains that Wei Xiao never told him his level was so high. If he had known, he wouldn't have stepped in and gotten beaten up for nothing. Wei Xiao immediately reminds him that he was the one trying to show off in the first place. Not his fault. After chatting for a bit longer, Wei Xiao says he still has some things to take care of and decides to leave. Dahai tells him to go ahead. Later, Wei Xiao arrives at the trading market. Looking around, he figures this should be the place. After all, he collected a huge pile of equipment during today's trial. Selling it should earn him a decent amount of money. Then a voice suddenly comes from right behind him. A man asks if he's looking to buy equipment. Wei Xiao nearly jumps out of his skin. The guy appeared so suddenly that he completely caught him off guard. Inside a car, Xiaoqing sits quietly while her father drives. Noticing her mood, he asks why she looks so unhappy. Xiaoqing suddenly asks if she's useless. Her father immediately shuts that idea down. According to him, she's one of the most outstanding students in her entire batch. But Xiaoqing isn't thinking about everyone else. She's thinking about Wei Xiao. She admits that she lost to him again today. Hearing that, her father jokingly asks if she wants him to teach Wei Xiao a lesson for her. Xiaoqing refuses immediately. If she's going to surpass Wei Xiao, she'll do it with her own strength. Her father is pleased with that answer and says that's exactly the ambition expected from a daughter of the Xiao family. Then Xiaoqing remembers something else. She brings up what happened to Chen Jiao in the dungeon and points out that the Chen family probably won't let the matter go so easily. When the time comes, she wants her father to help Wei Xiao. Her father laughs and agrees. At the same time, he starts thinking that these two really do act like a bickering couple. He decides he'll have someone investigate Wei Xiao's background later. Back at the trading market, the equipment dealer is still trying to do business. He tells Wei Xiao that his prices are fair and that he doesn't cheat either the young or the old. Wei Xiao says he isn't looking to buy anything because he actually has a pile of equipment to sell himself. The dealer immediately perks up. If that's the case, he says Wei Xiao can sell directly to him and save himself the trouble of running around the market. Wei Xiao instantly asks whether the guy is just trying to make money off the price difference. The dealer acts offended. He insists that everyone around here knows old Zhang's prices are the fairest in the market. So Wei Xiao drops his loot bag onto the table and tells him to have a look. The moment old Zhang opens it, his eyes practically light up. This guy was not expecting that. As he starts checking the items, he discovers things like a level 5 slime sword mixed in with the pile. Meanwhile, Wei Xiao casually tells him there are 25 pieces of equipment in total and asks how much he's willing to pay. Old Zhang doesn't hesitate. He says he'll take everything and offers 15,000. Wei Xiao immediately pushes back. At least 20,000. The dealer agrees almost instantly. Done. Deal made. Which immediately makes Wei Xiao suspicious. The agreement happened way too fast. Now he's wondering whether he accidentally lowballed himself. Bro couldn't even enjoy the sale before starting to worry. After the transaction, old Zhang suddenly asks if Wei Xiao is a student from Qingyang First Academy. Wei Xiao asks why. Old Zhang explains that the unified exam is still coming up, which means he'll definitely be entering dungeons several more times. Then he takes out another item, a storage bag. The bag has 10 cubic meters of storage space, and according to old Zhang, Wei Xiao is absolutely going to need something like that. Wei Xiao asks the most important question. How much? Old Zhang says the normal market price starts at 50,000. But since Wei Xiao is still a student, he'll sell it for 30,000 instead. According to him, it's a discounted price between friends. Wei Xiao decides he's not getting scammed twice in one day. This time, he's the one cutting the price. So when old Zhang offers the storage bag, Wei Xiao immediately counters with 15,000. To his surprise, old Zhang instantly agrees. Deal. No hesitation. Then he quickly adds that he runs a small business and there will be absolutely no returns or exchanges. The transaction goes through immediately. A notification pops up. GG Bond has received 50,000 yuan. The moment Wei Xiao sees how fast old Zhang accepted, he starts getting suspicious again. Brother, did I get scammed this time too? The more he thinks about it, the worse he feels. Later, back at the urban village, a new tenant is moving in. The man explains that he's only renting for a month and will move out afterward. Wu Xinyu tells him that's fine as long as he cleans up before leaving. The man agrees. At the same time, he thinks to himself that Wei Xiao is only a recently awakened student, yet the family head is making such a big fuss that even an old man like him has been sent to keep an eye on the kid. As Wei Xiao returns home, he passes by Wu Xinyu. She immediately greets him. Wei Xiao asks if she needs something. Wu Xinyu brings up the news she heard about him awakening as an undead summoner and taking first place in today's test. Wei Xiao confirms it. The moment he does, she suddenly steps closer. Then she happily announces that she can finally give him her gift. Wei Xiao is confused. Gift? Wu Xinyu simply tells him to close his eyes. So he does. While waiting, Wei Xiao remembers that Wu Xinyu's husband passed away a long time ago and starts wondering what exactly she's planning to do. Then she opens a box and proudly reveals the gift. Inside is a finger bone. The moment Wei Xiao sees it, a notification appears. Mysterious bone finger. Special effect. Can upgrade the quality of a designated undead summon. Can be used 3 times. Additional effect. Allows the user to temporarily transform into an undead form, doubling constitution at the cost of slowly losing experience. What now? Wu Xinyu explains that the item belonged to her late husband. He was also a summoner. She suspects his death was connected to this very item. Accepting it could bring tremendous benefits, but it could also bring trouble. Wei Xiao immediately understands where this is going. He asks if she's giving it to him because she wants him to investigate her husband's death. Wu Xinyu admits that's exactly what she wants. She hopes he can avenge him. Hearing that, Wei Xiao becomes serious. The item's power is incredible. Giving it up would be a huge waste, but accepting it means stepping into unknown danger. After thinking it over, he decides that opportunities like this don't come for free. Wealth and danger usually travel together. Besides, Wu Xinyu has always taken good care of him, so he decides to help. Wei Xiao promises he'll do his best. Hearing that, Wu Xinyu immediately hugs him and says he's already helped her more than enough just by agreeing. Wei Xiao points out that he hasn't actually succeeded yet, but Wu Xinyu doesn't care. To her, the promise alone is enough. After saying goodbye, Wei Xiao returns home. Looking at the mysterious bone finger, he becomes more convinced that the item is anything but ordinary. So he decides to test it immediately. The transformation activates, and in the next moment, Wei Xiao turns into a skeleton. A notification appears. Undead transformation activated. Consumes 1% of total experience per minute. Wei Xiao looks down at his new body. All of his attributes feel stronger, much stronger. According to him, it's actually pretty cool. Then Then another thought suddenly crosses his mind. If the transformation strengthens his entire body, then surely a certain part should have been strengthened too, right? So he checks. The strengthening failed. Wei Xiao just stands there in disbelief. The moment Wei Xiao realizes what didn't get enhanced, he completely loses interest in the transformation. He immediately tells it to change back. Right now, no negotiations. The skeleton form disappears, and Wei Xiao returns to normal, while looking absolutely devastated. After calming down, he realizes something important. At least the transformation can be controlled freely. That's good. For a second there, it genuinely scared him. The experience consumption is another problem entirely. Just staying transformed for a short time burned through a noticeable amount of experience. Wei Xiao quickly concludes that this ability is way too expensive to use casually. This is definitely something to save for emergencies. Just then, someone starts knocking on his door. Wei Xiao pauses. Who is that? As he walks over, he asks who's outside and wonders why they aren't saying anything. Then the door opens. An old man is standing there. The old man immediately confirms that he must be Wei Xiao. Our guy's first reaction? Ghost. Without hesitation, he moves to attack. The old man reacts just as quickly and blocks him, telling him not to get so excited. He explains that he's simply the new neighbor who moved in next door. Wei Xiao immediately apologizes. Awkward. The old man laughs it off and comments that Wei Xiao's reactions are pretty quick. Then he casually mentions that he's exactly the kind of person a certain young miss would be interested in. After saying hello, he leaves. Wei Xiao is left standing there completely confused. What young miss? What neighbor? None of this makes any sense. The next day at the academy, students gather to hear the trial rankings. Everyone is excited. Some are already discussing who might have taken first place. Others are waiting for the results to be announced. Then Xiao Qing walks over to Wei Xiao. She's still stuck on one thing. How did he reach level 7? Wei Xiao casually explains that he defeated a boss, a few elite monsters, and a whole bunch of regular monsters. A boss? Xiao Qing immediately calls nonsense. There's no way she can believe that, at least not yet. Then the staff member begins announcing the official rankings. The entire crowd quiets down. First place, Wei Xiao. The announcement continues. Level 5 boss, dividing slime. Level 3 elite, horned wild boar. Level 4 elite, stone turtle. Final level, 7. The moment those results are read out loud, Xiao Qing is completely stunned. Everything Wei Xiao said was true. Every word. She can only stare in disbelief and ask whether this is actually real. The other students are just as shocked. One student can't understand how an undead summoner managed to surpass both Xiao Qing and Chen Jiao. Another student brings up the rumor spreading around the academy. Apparently, Chen Jiao was beaten so badly by Wei Xiao in the dungeon that he ended up crippled. Another student immediately backs up the rumor, saying he personally saw Chen Jiao being carried out of the dungeon. The discussion gets louder and louder. Meanwhile, the staff member continues announcing the rankings. Second place goes to Xiao Qing. She successfully hunted the level 5 silverbacked Wolf King and reached level 6. Third place goes to Li Chong. Fourth place goes to Chen Jiao. Fifth place. The rankings continue until all the results have been announced. After hearing everything, Xiao Qing turns to Wei Xiao and admits that he is indeed very strong. But according to her, their competition isn't over yet. Wei Xiao simply tells her he'll be ready anytime. Soon after, the announcer reminds everyone that there are only 29 days left until the unified exam. The students are encouraged to keep working hard and achieve even better results. With the announcement over, everyone begins leaving. Wei Xiao immediately starts thinking about the countdown. Less than a month. Not much time at all. If he wants to keep getting stronger, he needs to continue leveling up as quickly as possible. So he heads straight for Dungeon Square. The place is packed with information boards, commissions, and dungeon recommendations. After taking a look around, Wei Xiao quickly makes up his mind. He's already done enough farming in the Green Grass Plateau. This time, he wants something tougher. The Orc Lair. What now? Without wasting any more time, he walks over to the portal and enters. The moment he arrives, Wei Xiao is confused. This is the Orc Lair? It doesn't look like one. Instead of orcs, he sees small animals and rodents running around everywhere. Still, he remembers what the textbook said. Gnolls always move in packs. That means relaxing here is a terrible idea. So he immediately summons his skeleton army. Good thing he does, because right above him, hidden in the trees, an entire pack of gnolls is already watching him. The next second, they attack. The gnolls leap down from above, catching Wei Xiao completely off guard. Seriously, why does every monster monster seem addicted to sneak attacks. Reacting instantly, Wei Xiao prepares a ghost fire orb and fires. One knoll gets hit down. A notification appears. Congratulations on killing a Tier 0 level 1 knoll. Experience gained 25. Wei Xiao immediately remembers the textbook. If there is one knoll, there are definitely more nearby. Just as he finishes thinking that, more knolls jump out. Right on cue, Wei Xiao points out that he was right all along. Then he gives the order. The skeleton mages begin charging fireballs. Wei Xiao tells them to blow everything up, and they do. Fireballs rain down across the area. One knoll falls, then another, then another. Notifications begin appearing one after another. Tier 0 level 3 knoll defeated. Experience gained 155. Another Tier 0 level 3 knoll defeated. Experience gained 155. The entire pack is wiped out in no time. Looking at the corpses on the ground, Wei Xiao is delighted. He just arrived and already has work to do. Out comes the shovel again. At this point, the little iron shovel is seeing more action than some main characters. Wei Xiao starts digging and promises to bury every single one of them properly. 10 minutes later, the rewards start rolling in. Grave essence, bottled corpse oil, various materials. Then something catches his attention. An insight spell. Wei Xiao immediately lights up. An insight spell? Now that's actually awesome. Wei Xiao looks at the reward and can hardly believe it. An insight spell. An actual insight spell. According to him, this just saved him a fortune on buying skill books. Thank heavens. Then he checks his experience. After the wave of monsters he just farmed, he's already accumulated enough experience to almost upgrade the skeletal boar again. Without wasting any time, he takes out the mysterious bone finger and starts the upgrade. The moment he activates it, the skeletal boar begins changing. Its attributes start rising rapidly. Higher and higher and higher. A notification appears. Summon beast, skeletal boar. Grade upgraded to beast general. What now? Wei Xiao immediately checks the stats. The combined total of its 4 attributes is now approaching 2000. Not only that, but its skill rank has also increased from G rank to E rank. The improvement is massive. Naturally, Wei Xiao decides a summon this strong deserves a proper name. From this day forward, the skeletal boar shall be known as Peppa. After all those terrifying undead abilities, that's the name he picks. Next, he uses grave incense to gain more experience and starts upgrading his skeleton mage as well. The experience keeps flowing in. Soon another breakthrough arrives. A new notification appears. Summon skeleton mage has been upgraded to boss grade. Now we're talking. Wei Xiao looks at the upgraded skeleton mage and decides it needs a name too. After some very serious consideration, he names it Irons. With both upgrades completed, Wei Xiao is feeling great. The preparations are done. The summons are strong. The dungeon is full of monsters, so he decides there is only one reasonable thing left to do. Turn the orc lair upside down. The next moment, beast roars echo through the area. Then countless fireballs fly across the battlefield. Explosions erupt everywhere. Monsters are blown apart one after another. Wei Xiao immediately orders all his minions to attack. Peppa charges forward. Irons leads the bombardment. The rest of the undead army follows. Wei Xiao watches the destruction unfold and declares that today he's going to fight to his heart's content. 3 hours later, the battlefield is completely different. Peppa has smashed through countless enemies. The undead army has cleared monster after monster. And then a new notification suddenly appears. Class first advancement conditions met. Automatic breakthrough complete. Talent, eternal immortality enhanced. New effect acquired. Damage transfer. All damage received by the user will be transferred to a random summon. Wei Xiao pauses. This is interesting. Very interesting. If every attack he takes can be redirected to a summon, then what happens when he has hundreds of summons? Or thousands? Wouldn't that make him practically impossible to kill? Before he can think about it any longer, another notification appears. Weapon, Dirge of the Departed has gained a new ability. Grave digging and coffin opening. Dig up a grave and resurrect the occupant as a loyal servant. Effective only on targets whose strength does not exceed 100 times that of the host. post. Wei Xiao stares at the description, then stares some more. Finally, he points out that this skill is unbelievably wicked. Forget ordinary necromancy. This thing is literally teaching him how to dig up other people's ancestral graves. Wei Xiao is still thinking about his newly unlocked abilities when something suddenly cuts through the air. An arrow. Fast. Really fast. He notices it, but not fast enough to dodge. The arrow slams directly into him. What now? The impact sends him stumbling, and explosions erupt behind him from the force of the attack. Yet after checking himself, Wei Xiao realizes something surprising. He's completely fine, not even seriously injured. The damage transfer actually worked. Then he hears a painful roar nearby. Turning around, he discovers where the damage went. One of his skeletal boars took the hit for him. Even after suffering the transferred damage, the boar is still fighting and immediately crashes into another monster. At that point, Wei Xiao becomes even more impressed with the skill. Without wasting any time, he activates Insight. His eyes lock onto the attacker, a Minotaur boss, Earth Sharpshooter. Wei Xiao is genuinely surprised. An intelligent Minotaur, and it even has a class. That's not something you see every day. Before he can react further, another arrow comes flying toward him. The shot lands again, and once again, the damage is transferred away. Wei Xiao immediately points out how terrifying the Minotaur's attack power is. Without damage transfer, he would have already died twice. Meanwhile, the Minotaur is starting to look confused. Its arrows are clearly landing, so why isn't its target dropping? The creature keeps looking around, trying to figure out what's happening. Seeing that reaction, Wei Xiao grins. The Minotaur already made its move. Now it's his turn. The moment the Minotaur realizes its arrows aren't working, it makes a decision. Run. Immediately. But Wei Xiao isn't about to let his walking pile of experience escape. He orders his undead army to give chase and points out that the Minotaur thinks it can run away after offending him. The Minotaur keeps sprinting. Wei Xiao follows right behind with Peppa and the rest of his summons, repeatedly telling it to stop. The chase continues until the Minotaur rushes into a cave. Wei Xiao follows it inside. Then he freezes. Holy crap, that actually startled him. Human skeletons are scattered all over the place, everywhere. Looking around, Wei Xiao can't help wondering why there are so many human remains inside this cave. Then he notices something else. Red eyes. Lots of them. Oh, it's a trap. At that point, Wei Xiao has to give the Minotaurs some credit. They've actually learned how to lure enemies into an ambush. Monsters with brains really are different. Still, he isn't planning to die here. Not even close. So he immediately orders his undead army into formation. The skeleton mages begin charging fireballs. The Minotaurs react by hurling axes. Axes and fireballs collide across the cave. Some of the axes smash into the skeletons. But Wei Xiao isn't worried. According to him, the Minotaur's weapons will eventually wear out. His undead army won't. One side is spending resources. The other side is literally printing soldiers. Who do you think wins that? More fireballs fill the cave. Wei Xiao gives the order. Blow them up. The bombardment begins again. This time, the Minotaurs can't hold on. One after another, they fall. Notifications start appearing non-stop. Level 9 Minotaur defeated. Experience gained 50. Level 10 Minotaur defeated. Experience gained 350. Level 11 Minotaur defeated. Experience gained 450. The experience keeps pouring in. Then another notification appears. Level 12 reached. Not bad. Just as the battle seems to be ending, a much stronger Minotaur steps forward. This one is different. The creature angrily calls out to the human who invaded its territory. Wei Xiao takes one look at it. Elite monster. That's all he needs to hear. In his eyes, that's just a giant pile of experience points. The elite Minotaur immediately orders the remaining monsters to attack. The battle intensifies again. The Minotaurs roar and charge. Even the skeleton army starts feeling the pressure. The elite leader joins the fight personally and begins smashing through skeletons. Even Irons comes under attack. Then the elite Minotaur roars and launches another assault. Perfect timing. At least that's what Wei Xiao thinks. He even reminds the Minotaur that he'll be burying its corpse later. The fight reaches its peak. The elite Minotaur opens its mouth and roars. And that's when it happens. A fireball shoots straight into its mouth. Direct hit. What now? Boom. The elite Minotaur explodes on the spot. A notification immediately appears. Congratulations on defeating the elite Minotaur. Level increased to 13. Looking at the result, Wei Xiao can only shake his head. Little Irons is genuinely ruthless. With the elite Minotaur down, it's finally time for Wei Xiao's favorite part. The loot. Out comes the shovel. Again, after burying the corpse, rewards start pouring in. Grave incense, grave rice, corpse oil, a berserk battle axe, and a bunch of other items. This haul is noticeably better than the previous ones. Wei Xiao looks at the pile and immediately starts calculating how much money he's about to make. According to him, another small fortune is on the way. Then suddenly, whoosh, a cluster of arrows flies straight toward him. But this time is different. Wei Xiao has been waiting for this. Instead of getting hit, he sidesteps the attack. Cleanly, the hidden Minotaur is visibly shocked. He dodged. Seeing the reaction, Wei Xiao can't help feeling pleased with himself. The Minotaur clearly assumed that after all those battles, most of his skeleton mages were depleted and he no longer had enough strength to fight back. Unfortunately for the Minotaur, wrong answer. The creature then demands to know how a mere tier 1 summoner can control so many summoned beasts. Wei Xiao immediately fires back with a question of his own. He wants to know why a dungeon monster possesses intelligence in the first place. Fair question. Then he orders his undead army to deal with the annoying little calf. The skeletons immediately charge forward. The Minotaur warns him not to celebrate too early. Then it roars. Fireballs begin flying. Explosions erupt. But before the battle can end, another Minotaur appears. And this one attacks immediately. It releases a skill called Arrow of the Earth. The arrow plunges into the ground. The moment Wei Xiao sees it, he realizes what's coming. An AoE attack. Not good. The ground starts rumbling. The entire area is about to explode. Even the skeletons can only watch. What now? Wei Xiao instantly calls for Peppa. The upgraded skeletal boar charges forward at full speed. The Minotaur tries to resist. Peppa slams into it with overwhelming force. The Minotaur struggles desperately but quickly realizes it can't hold on much longer. Peppa is simply too strong. A second later, the Minotaur is sent flying straight into the air. Then Irons makes his move. A fireball forms, charges, and shoots directly into the Minotaur's mouth. Again, boom. The second Minotaur explodes just like the first one. Looking at the result, Wei Xiao comments that the guy died in a pretty miserable way. But after taking a closer look, he notices something strange. The Minotaur isn't completely dead yet. Its vitality is absurdly tough. Wei Xiao admits he'd really like to bury it immediately. After all, that's basically his solution to everything now. But something about this situation feels off. Intelligent monsters aren't supposed to appear in ordinary dungeons. That's weird. Really weird. So instead of burying it, he decides to take the Minotaur outside and hand it over to the authorities. Meanwhile, outside the dungeon, several guards are talking among themselves. One of them points out that something feels wrong. A lot of people entered the dungeon, yet not a single person has come back out. The longer they wait, the more suspicious it becomes. Could something have happened? Just as the guards are wondering whether something happened inside the dungeon, the portal suddenly lights up. Then someone finally comes out. Wei Xiao. Along with him comes his massive undead army and a Minotaur. The guards immediately recognize him, but after taking a closer look, they notice something else. People. Lots of people. Lying all over the ground. What now? The guards quickly ask what happened. Wei Xiao explains that an intelligent boss appeared inside the orc lair. The monster lured students into a trap and defeated them one by one. The guards are stunned. An intelligent boss? Inside a beginner dungeon? One of them immediately says he'll report the incident and request advanced class awakeners from the IREPs to eliminate the threat. Wei Xiao casually tells him there's no need. The guard is confused. No need? Then he notices the Minotaur. Wait, did Wei Xiao already catch it? The creature is a level 16 boss, and somehow Wei Xiao brought it out alive. The guard can hardly believe it. Wei Xiao doesn't spend much time explaining. Instead, he asks if there's a place nearby where dungeon rewards can be exchanged. The guard points him toward an office and tells him to head straight over. After thanking him, Wei Xiao leaves. At the reward office, he politely asks the receptionist to evaluate the wolf horns he collected. The receptionist takes one look, then another, then another. There are a lot of them. Not only that, but the quality of the materials is extremely good. After finishing the appraisal, she estimates that everything can be exchanged for around 320,000 Yuaxia currency. Not bad. Not bad at all. Wei Xiao immediately tells her to transfer the money. Soon, a notification appears. Gigi Bond has received 320,000 yuan. Now our guy is rich. Well, rich by student standards anyway. The moment he gets the money, he decides it's time to return to the trading market and see if he can pick up some useful treasures. As he walks there, he silently hopes he won't run into that profiteering merchant again. Unfortunately, the universe hears him. The moment he arrives, old Zhang appears. Immediately, almost like he was waiting for him, the merchant cheerfully asks if Wei Xiao was looking for him. Wei Xiao's reaction is simple. Why is it you again? He immediately tells old Zhang to go away because he doesn't have any good items to sell this time. Old Zhang acts offended. Then he says not to be such a stranger because he just got some really good merchandise. Would Wei Xiao like to have a look? Wei Xiao refuses. No looking, no buying. Absolutely not. Old Zhang lets out a dramatic sigh and says that's a shame. He just happened to acquire a new skill book and an evolution potion, and he thought maybe he'd find someone fated to buy them. The moment those words leave his mouth, Wei Xiao pauses. A skill book and an evolution potion. Now he is interested, very interested. According to the description, the skill book can summon elite guards, while the evolution potion can evolve summoned creatures. Both items sound perfect for him. Just moments ago he was determined not to buy anything. Now he's already asking for the price. Old Zhang immediately reminds him that he was the one who said he wouldn't buy. And just like that, the negotiation begins. Wei Xiao immediately changes his attitude. According to him, business is always open for discussion. Then he pulls out the equipment he just obtained and tells old Zhang to take a look first. The merchant starts inspecting the items one by one. After a while, he claims that the overall quality isn't particularly impressive and offers 150,000 yuan for everything. What now? Wei Xiao isn't falling for that. Not this time. He immediately points out that the Berserk battle axe alone is worth more than 100,000 yuan. Old Zhang might have fooled him once before, but that's not happening again. The merchant looks genuinely surprised. Just a short while ago, Wei Xiao was practically a beginner when it came to trading. Now he's already learned how to protect himself. Not bad. Seeing that lowballing won't work, old Zhang gets serious. He explains that the skill book is worth 50,000 yuan. The evolution potion is worth 150,000 yuan. That makes 200,000 yuan in total. Then he proposes a direct exchange. The skill book and potion for all the equipment in Wei Xiao's hands. Wei Xiao thinks it over for a moment, then agrees. Deal. The transaction is completed. Before leaving, old Zhang gives him one final piece of advice. According to him, it's best not to reveal all of your cards so easily in front of other people. Wei Xiao can only shake his head. This guy really knows how to do business. At this point, calling old Zhang a merchant almost feels unfair. The man is a business prodigy.